Generals. In tonight's game, it was a very exciting game. Now, first and foremost, let me inform you all, okay, if you guys are new to my channel, I do not usually at all cover either Iowa State Cyclones or the Iowa Hawkeyes, okay? Now, last season, I was more, covering Audi Crooks. I gave her, a player introduction, a player appreciation video. But this season, I gotta keep my eye. I might have to keep my eye on the Iowa State Cyclones because, guys, in tonight's game, they just officially are the first team to hand over the first L to the Iowa Hawkeyes, okay? The Iowa Hawkeyes, they were 9 and 0. They were 9 and 0. Now they are 9 and 1. Okay, because again, the Cyclones put them in a blender. This was a really good game, guys. Really good pace throughout the entire game until that third quarter. That third quarter, the Cyclones really put out that belt. They had a belt, a switch, a cable cord, a broomstick, a stick. They had everything to put that BTA. They were just whooping on them real bad. I think they were up like, what, 17, almost 20 points in the third quarter? And then they allowed them. Okay, the Cyclones allowed them to come back in the fourth and final quarter. They only cut the point deficit. They were able to cut the point deficit down by just 3 points. Because the Cyclones was just, they gave up defensively. It's like they ran out of gas. They were just so tired. They were just so exhausted. But in the first and second quarter, oh, this game was beautifully paced on both teams, on both sides. They were both, it was like a tennis match. I just love to see that back and forth, that ebb and flow of the game between the Cyclones and the Hawkeyes. Again, the game concluded with the Iowa State Cyclones on top. They had 74 points to their victory. Okay, they are now officially 11 and 0. Okay, they have a perfect winning record. They might be the ones that put the whooping on the UConn Huskies. Who knows? Okay, if they match up anytime soon, the Cyclones, the Iowa State Cyclones, might have some competition for the UConn Huskies. Now, the Iowa Hawkeyes lost with 69 points. In the first quarter, we see the Hawkeyes scored 23 points. The Cyclones scored 19. In the second quarter, the Hawkeyes put up 12 points. The Cyclones had 16. The third quarter, the Hawkeyes scored 13 points. The Cyclones put up 26 points. That's when, they was whooping them so bad in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, they blew it because the Hawkeyes outscored the Cyclones. In the fourth quarter, the Hawkeyes put up 21 points. The Cyclones were only able to put up 13 points. I'm going to just say it right now, I ain't even got to look at the freaking overall team stats. I'm going to break that down, but listen. I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why the Hawkeyes were able to come back majorly in a major way in the fourth and final quarter, okay? Jada Williams missed 2 free throw shots back to back. Audi Crooks missed half of her free throw shots. The Cyclones were missing half of their free throw shots, and then for all of a sudden they were like afraid to touch them. They became squeamish. Like, oh, I don't want to mix my sweat with your sweat. I'm not gonna play any defense. I'm done. I'm packing this up. It's like, it was just ridiculous. And because of the Cyclones' actions in the fourth quarter, that allowed the Hawkeyes to make a major comeback. Now let's break down the individual player statistics. Okay, starting with each team. Let's start with the Iowa Hawkeyes first because they lost. Now, Hannah Stukle, I'm sorry, guys, I forgot how they pronounce her name. I believe it's Hannah Stukel. Maybe Stukel? She got fouled out in the fourth and final quarter, but she had a double-double. Okay, she had a pretty good game. She had 10 points, 3 assists, 15 rebounds. Ava Hayden had 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Chizadi Wright had 21 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. Taylor McCabe had 11 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Kylie Feuerbach had 10 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. Layla Hayes had 3 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. Journey Houston, hey, we got the same last name. She had 4.0 assists, 5 rebounds. Taylor Strimlow had 2 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Now for the Iowa State Cyclones, Addie Brown had a double-double. Shout out to her. She had 20 points, 5 assists, 12 rebounds. Audi Crooks is a beast, guys. She had 30 points, 0 assists, and 10 rebounds. Another double-double. Ariana Jackson, she had 0 points, 0 assists, 4 rebounds, but she played for 36 minutes. Get it together, Miss Mams. Mackenzie Hare had 6 points, 0 assists, 2 rebounds. Jada Williams, okay, a little bit of background about her, guys. She used to date the basketball player who also, no, he didn't go into the NBA, but his name was Mikey Williams. Remember, he got into some legal trouble for the little pew-pew case out there in California? Yeah, she used to be booed up with him, okay? She used to play for the USC Trojans right alongside one of her besties being Juju Watkins. Then she left that program, transferred to, I believe, Northern Arizona, left the program, and now she is officially an Iowa State Cyclone, and she fits in pretty well with this program. I love what she's doing. She had a double-double tonight. She had 11 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. And Alyssa Williams had 2 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. Reagan Wilson had 0 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. And Sydney Harris had 5 points, 1 assist, and 1 rebound. Now let's look at the team stats, okay? Proof is in the pudding, okay, with these team stats. Now when it comes to field goals, okay? For the Iowa Hawkeyes, they were 27 for 63, or 42.9% accuracy, okay, when it comes to field goal percentage. Now, the Hawkeyes did much better, 10% better. They were 30 for 57 from the shot and had a field goal percentage that which translates into 52.6% accuracy. Now, when it comes to three-pointers, my God, Jada Williams was missing for quite some time. I believe she made 2 3-point shots eventually in this game, but when it comes to three-pointers, Iowa Hawkeyes were 9 for 24, or 37.5% accuracy, whereas the Iowa Cyclones were 5 for 15, or 33.3% accuracy. When it comes to free throws, okay, this is a mess. They both were half and half pretty much, but Iowa was just slightly better. Well, Iowa Hawkeyes, that is, because the Hawkeyes were 6 for 12, or 50% free throw percentage accuracy, whereas the Cyclones were 9 for 20. They were just 45% free throw percentages, or free throw accuracy. Okay, they literally missed more than half of their free throw shots, and it was just so embarrassing. And when it comes to rebounds, the Hawkeyes had 31, Cyclones had 36. When it comes to assists, the Hawkeyes had 16, Cyclones had 22. The Hawkeyes had 1 block, the Cyclones had 3. Hawkeyes had 5 steals, Cyclones had 2. The Hawkeyes had 9 turnovers, the Cyclones had 12. When it comes to points made in the paint, the Hawkeyes only had 28 compared to the Cyclones' 42. Again, guys, tonight was a very good game. It was very exciting. I love the competition. Okay, Iowa versus Iowa. I love to see, 2 schools in the same state compete against one another. Okay, it makes for great storyline, drama, cinema, and great excitement. Okay, when it comes to college basketball fans. But again, shout out to the Cyclones. Shout out to Audi Crooks. Shout out to Jada Williams. She fits really well into that program. Okay, again, shout out to the Cyclones. They are on a domination streak. They are dominating the girls. Okay, they just giving out L's after L after L. The Hawkeyes, guys, have fallen. Okay, they could not hang with the Iowa State Cyclones in tonight's game.